Hello, my name is Paul Marriage at Premier Miton. Welcome to the HI UK Select monthly video update for July 2024. This was a solid month for the fund in a pretty noisy market. Clearly we had the UK election, which was probably no surprises in the end, quite a big win for the Labour government. Labour government's, I guess, from a financial markets perspective, has seen to be quite pro-market and also quite pro-growth in the UK, and some of that probably coming through things like the construction sector. So there's some quite important tailwinds out there around the new election, the new government, and also the prospect of rates coming off in the UK pretty soon, possibly in the next 6 or 7 weeks. So within that context, how did the fund go for us this month? Well, financials were good. NatWest had particularly good numbers, and that had good upgrades, and that's a reasonable position for us. So that was a pretty important driver to performance. OSB, the challenger bank, which had actually been quite difficult for us in Q1, you might remember, had a good rally as well. Probably a little bit of a sympathy rally. The sector financials were going up, and OSB looks pretty good value, and perhaps the perception that most of the bad news is out there on that one. So that's been a good performance. Marks and Spencer, the UK high street retailer, has been good again. It's a good story, Marks and Spencer. It started with food. It's spreading out in terms of its recovery through to its non-food offer. The high street is a place where it appears the survivors are doing well. Marks and Spencer and Next would be good examples. And so we continue to hold that, and it's done very nicely for us. I guess our main headwind areas in the portfolio were in the travel sector, where our long position in Ryanair had a fairly significant profits warning on low demand broadly, and having to discount more than people hoped for. At the beginning of the year, people were very positive about the low-cost airlines and travel in Europe in general, and it was actually good for us then. It's come back to bite us a bit this quarter, with demand being not as strong as people hoped, so that's also been a negative on our positions in EasyJet and Jet2. The other background, I guess, from the election was the house building and real estate and construction sector. So we're probably net long that area. Some good building materials plays like Travis Perkins, Grafton, Marshalls, all helping us there. So fairly simple trade, but working nicely for us. On the short but rising market, difficult to find loads of winners clearly short, and clearly indices, particularly our mid-cap index, which is probably UK domestic and sensitive focused. It's an important balancer for us, but that would have been a detractor this month. We had a nice win in travel, I guess, to counter some of the pain in airlines. We had wins there with Carnival, the global cruise play, and IHG, the travel, the hotels group. I guess IHG is interesting because it had a surprisingly good statement earlier in the year, but is now warning a little bit on Asian demand in particular. So, a mixed bag overall in the portfolio, as you'd expect, and some good wins on both sides of the book, and a good month overall. As I said at the start, it's been a noisy market. We've had lots of results. We've had an election. A lot of things to navigate here. We think now the market will probably focus a little bit more on the outlook and the second half. And as we've seen this year, a lot of companies have been pushing their first half, second half weightings of earnings into the second half. So I think there's a bit of risk there in terms of who can actually deliver a second half weighting. So lots of stock picking opportunities as ever. We'll remain diligent to look for them and work hard to keep the portfolio balanced. And we think overall this is a pretty good environment to continue the strategy as is. I would imagine we'll stay slightly net long within our factor and market neutral approach to investing. Thanks again for your support, and I look forward to updating you in a month's time.